Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Hannah, and on my channel I post a lot of anti-MLM content. I like doing really educational deep dives into different MLM companies. I also have an MLM horror stories series on my channel where I read different stories about your personal experiences being in an MLM that you have sent to me. And then there's videos like this one, MLM Top Fails, where I have a whole bunch of different clips and videos and photos that we look at together and we react to them. And the purpose is to debunk all of the insane misinformation that is spread by people in MLMs. As this channel continues to grow, it's a big goal of mine to have longer and longer videos. So we have a ton of things to look at today, a variety of different companies, a variety of different types of clips. I'm very excited, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so this very first clip, this is from somebody in the company Enagic, I think is how you pronounce it. And this is the company whose reps sell the Kangen water filters. Again, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Kangen. Every kind of like more official video that I've seen explaining these water filters by people who are like in the company, they all pronounce it Kangen. I don't know. But my very, very basic impression of people in this MLM is that they think that all tap water is like poison, and they will only drink and cook with and bathe in water that has been purified through this $5,000 machine. And that's the product that they are attempting to sell through this MLM. So I think that this clip really speaks for itself in the types of people, I guess, that this MLM attracts.
Let's talk business. Let's always talk business, actually. I mentioned that I started a side business selling Kangen water machines, and then I got super wrapped up in the Elevate Your Ordinary group event conference training that started immediately after it kind of launched. So now I'm shifting gears and focusing on what I will be talking about from this point forward, which is business, but like really aligned spiritual woo-woo, like kooky fun business, or at least that's the goal, which is so perfect because I just had a friend send me an article and it was talking about how our economy's changing, the way people do business is changing. You know, it's not all about like logical, realistic thinking anymore. It's about creativity and expansion and abundance and how much you can accomplish in your lifetime.
Oh God, I'm concerned. I'm concerned for her. The first red flag for me is that she's talking about how right after she signed up, there was this conference called the Elevate Your Ordinary conference or something. And she's saying that after that, my mindset shifted. And now I'm focused on a spiritual, aligned business. What does that even mean? Can somebody explain to me what that means? And then she said it's not about logical, realistic thinking anymore. Excuse me? I mean, is she literally admitting to being brainwashed right now? Because that's what it feels like.
I want to change that a little bit. It's about how much you can experience in your lifetime, because there is so much to experience. That is why I keep getting drawn to these opportunities that aren't just up the corporate ladder, get promotions, get paid a little bit more every year, buy nicer things. Like, there's a whole world to see. There's so many different ways of living. There's so many things to learn. And I want to see them all. And I want for everyone to be able to see and experience them all. So that's why I get really into alternative ways of doing business, or at least they're alternative right now.
I mean, look, I understand that working a corporate job at 9 to 5 is not everyone's path, and that's okay. But there are so many alternative ways to make money. There are so many different types of jobs out there. There are endless ways to live a happy life. But joining a super culty MLM that sells $5,000 water filters, I don't have a whole lot of faith that that's gonna bring her this lifetime of freedom and abundance and wealth that she's after.
But the entrepreneurial group that I'm a part of shares wins every day, but every month, that are really awesome. And I just wanted to show you kind of what attracted me and what's really possible.
Entrepreneurial group that shares wins every day. Do you mean like your team? your uplines that are engaging in like regular love bombing and testimony sharing and brainwashing. The way that they will switch up language to make it appear like it's something more legitimate than it is actually pretty scary. Entrepreneurial group, I've never heard like a downline or a team called that before. But let's look through the rest of this. She posts like screenshots of different things that people are saying in their group chat. This one says, so I'm on vacation in Cali for 10 days, and before I came here, I said I'm going to focus on enjoying my time this week, and I'm going to make $10K in these 10 days. I've been here 4 days, and I've sent out paperwork that'll make me $10,750 in commission, plus EYO signups. I'm not sure what that means. I feel like that might mean like recruiting them into the business, equals $11,210. Guess I should bump it up to 15K. This biz blows my freaking mind beyond grateful. And then her little caption to that says 10K in less than 10 days while on vacation. This message in particular is giving me very like mindset and manifestation vibes. Like if I just wish for it and I just hope for it and I just put it out there into the universe that it's actually going to happen. I personally don't subscribe to the whole like manifestation school of thought. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not logical. But people in MLMs rely on that a lot as a way to get you to continually hope that one day you will manifest it and it will come to you, even though the odds are super small. I'm not going to read through all of these messages word for word. I'm just going to read her captions. But someone sent a message and then she put back-to-back 5-figure months at the beginning of a first pregnancy. This next one says, like, would you be okay with 17K in a month, 10K in a week? That's the energy I'm going for. See, energy, like, how about we don't go for energy? Okay, how about we like set out realistic, attainable goals with logical steps that produce proven results? Like, how about that? How about we stop relying on all this like energy, woo-woo, magic stuff? Okay, I will read this one. It says, just added up me and Steven's March earnings, and before bonuses, it was $52,415. We are floored. This is more than a full year's salary for some, and we made it in the 3rd month of 2021. Like, how is this our lives? We are so grateful.
If you're triggered by all those dollar signs, I would just remind you that money allows you to do what you want and allows you to help people that need it and do good things in the world.
Okay, so that's the end of that clip. But here's the income disclosure statement for this company, and it tells us the same story that every other income disclosure does. And this one is particularly interesting because they actually put the number of distributors in the different ranks. I love this. I wish more companies would do this. But this shows us that in 2020, only 85 people in the entire company made enough money from Enagic, or whatever it's called, to be making a livable income by US standards. In the US, a livable income is like $68,000 a year, and only 0.35% of the people in this entire company achieve that. That's less than 1%, you guys. Insane, insane. So she can post screenshots of testimonies all day long, and even if they are true, those results are very, very rare. They're not probable for most of the people that join the company. And that is what's so dangerous, is that if somebody watches that story and they see all these testimonies, they're going to be under the impression that selling Kangen water machines is going to make them a millionaire. And that's how they get sucked in, okay? If they can do it, I can do it. But a lot of people don't even know what an MLM is. They don't know what an income disclosure statement is. They don't know how to find them. They don't know how to read them. And that's what's so troublesome, is that you're just blindly trusting whatever someone on Instagram is telling you. And honestly, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And I wish that these people would just do their research before they jump into something like this. Oh my God, this next one is so funny. I cannot wait to show it to you. Truly a cinematic masterpiece. But here's a little bit of backstory, okay? So I'm going to show you a few posts from a Young Living rep, and it's all about the Young Living Silver Retreat is what they called it. And apparently this is where Young Living gave their reps of a certain rank an all expenses paid trip, who knows if that's really true, to the lavender fields in Utah so that they can see the crops that their lavender oil comes from, right? So you have to be at a certain rank, you have to earn this. It's like a really big privilege. It's a big deal. So this first reel, it has like the most moody, dramatic music in the background. And it says, 2 years ago, I started sharing about essential oils and products that I truly loved with friends and family. I started learning more and realized this oily biz could be, Sorry. Oily biz. Okay, get it together. I started learning more and realized this oily biz could be so much more than I initially thought. I decided to go all in. I started dreaming bigger than ever before. I saw myself walking in the lavender fields. I set goals and envisioned what life would be like at my dream rank. Good Lord. It hasn't always been easy, but I've continued to show up, work hard, and believe in myself. And now 2 years later, I'm headed to the lavender fields with some of my closest friends. I'm sorry, I just cannot take it seriously. So that's the whole reel, okay? She's on a plane, they're on their way, they're so excited for this retreat at the beautiful Young Living lavender fields. And let me show you some pictures from the Young Living website about what the lavender fields are supposed to look like. Gorgeous fields, beautiful purple lavender, sunsets, mountains in the background. And here's what the Young Living reps got. And I am absolutely dying at this picture. This is the saddest field of shriveled up tumbleweeds I have ever seen. And there are several other reels. I'll just put them over here for you to see. And they're all about how it was like her dream and her vision to visit the lavender fields. And this is what she got, okay? Oh my God, I'm so sad for her. It's like that meme of what you ordered versus what you got. Now, of course, to be fair, lavender grows in seasons, right? It's not always beautiful and blooming and bright purple like that. And I looked it up, and apparently lavender season is like sometime between the spring and summer. Sometimes it blooms early and you get it until like midsummer. If it blooms a little late, you have it until the late summertime. But either way, we're looking at like a May to August time frame here. And when does Young Living decide that they're gonna schedule this exclusive, all expenses paid trip to the lavender fields? September 29th to October 2nd. Why? Why would you do that? Wouldn't you want to host this event when it's like peak season and the fields are beautiful and blooming? I mean, good Lord, it's just pitiful. This field looks terrible. And maybe it was like a scheduling error, maybe it was an oversight, but I like to believe, here's my conspiracy. I like to believe that the lavender fields look like crap all the time, but they chose to host this retreat in like early fall, so they had an excuse as to why they looked so bad. What do I know? I'm just making fun of it. Okay, I'm not a farmer, I'm not a botanist. I just thought that was thoroughly entertaining. Next up, we have a Beachbody coach who also claims to be an anxiety coach. It's very prominent in the bio of her Instagram page. At first glance, it looks like she's mostly like an anxiety and mental health support page, but once you really start to dig into it, you realize that she's also in Beachbody and she heavily connects the two.
So if you are sitting on your couch, scrolling, feeling the feelings of anxiety, just feeling the effects of your mental health and wondering what tomorrow will bring you, or you don't even know where you really want to be in your life, or you're not happy, or I just want you to know there's other options out there. Just like this opportunity has given me so many blessings, and all of the coaches that were on this call, they all have a story to tell how they were impacted from this business. And I'm always looking for other women to partner with. I will teach you how to build a successful business.
Of course, we know that MLM reps will take every opportunity to tie it back to their MLM, okay? But this attempt feels very odd, very disjointed. She starts off the video saying, like, if you're at home and you're on your couch and you're feeling really overwhelmed and you're just feeling the feelings of anxiety. I expected the second half of that clip to be something like, just know you're not alone. I'm here for you. Here's some techniques that I've learned that maybe you can try out. Because after all, she's like a self-proclaimed anxiety coach. But no, of course not. Her solution is join my business, join my MLM. It's a great opportunity. I'm always looking for new people. Of course you are. Of course you're always looking for new people. And this is kind of fascinating because I see this all the time with, the health and wellness MLMs, the supplement MLMs, the essential oil MLMs. The reps from those types of companies always prey on people with mental health conditions. The product claims are out of this world, but this woman is full on using her Beachbody opportunity to try and prey on people. It's not even like the workouts helped me, the Shakeology helped me. No, it's like being a part of this business is what's helping me with my anxiety. And these women on my team, they all have stories to tell about how Beachbody has impacted their lives. But let me tell you something that you already know is that joining an MLM is not going to improve your mental health. If you're struggling with something like that, joining an MLM is never the solution. Signing up for a business opportunity that is only going to waste your money, it's going to waste your time, that's not the way to improve your mental health. And it's really disturbing to me to see that MLM reps will use this as a pain point to recruit, because in the end, if you sign up with them, it benefits them the most, which means that they have manipulated you and your mental health struggles for their own financial gain, which is really terrible. And in the end, what does she have to offer you? What does this person have to offer you that's going to help you with your mental health? Workouts, maybe, shakes, probably not. People who aren't qualified to be giving you health advice, definitely not. I mean, truly, that's all you're going to get out of this opportunity. And let's not forget that you don't have to join an MLM to get any of those things. You can make adjustments to your activity levels and to your nutrition to hopefully help your mental health. And I can tell you right now that seeing a counselor or a therapist is going to be 100 times more effective than joining her community and sitting on team calls all the time. And as somebody who does struggle with anxiety and panic attacks myself, it's a very personal pain point for me, and it bothers me more than any other type of health claim that an MLM rep will make. And to know that they are only making those claims to capitalize on somebody's poor mental health is really disturbing to me. All right, this next one is a photo. I'm pretty sure she's in Monat just by the details that she gives, but there is literally something wrong with every single thing that she says, and so I feel like we need to just break it down one by one. As a whole, this says, there's no risk. Start your business for as little as $199 and have an uncapped earning potential with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Lie after lie after lie after lie. I guess we should say half-truths, okay? Let's talk about it. First, she says, there's no risk. There's actually a lot of risk when you join an MLM. First of all, you risk spending more money than you ever make back. In Monat specifically, 98% of people in 2020 only made $161 a year on average. So once you factor in this $199 starter pack, the cost of the products that you purchased for yourself that year, the annual fee, that means that 98% of people in Monat actually lost money. You also risk having to surrender all of your personal social media accounts and commit to only posting about one company and one company's products, basically giving up your own account and turning it into a fan page for your MLM, which is super weird. And you risk your relationships. A lot of relationships suffer when you join an MLM because the people close to you might not be supportive of your decision to be in that MLM, while the people with you in the business are very supportive, overly supportive of your decision, and they encourage you to cut out those unsupportive people from your life. So actually, I would say there is a lot of risk with an MLM. Next, she says, start your business for as little as $199. This is something very, very intriguing to me, and I've seen a ton of Monat reps say this recently, that it's only $199 to join, as little as $199, obviously implying that the cheapest cost that you can start a Monat business for is $199, which has always been really odd to me because I know that you can actually join Monat for $99, not $199. And for a while, this had me really confused because I'm like, if you are promoting that your company has such a low startup cost, why would you not present them with the actual lowest startup cost? But the answer to that lies in the fact that when you look at their compensation plan, the new recruit has to buy a starter pack of at least $199 in order for the person who recruited them to get a bonus check. So if I recruit you and you buy the $99 product pack, I don't get anything from that. I don't make any money off of you. But if I can talk you into getting the $199 pack or larger, I do get a bonus check on that transaction and I do get to make money off of you. And that's the real reason that they don't tell you that you can start for cheaper. They only tell you that you can start for as little as this amount because that amount is what gets them paid. Love that for us. Next, she says uncapped earning potential, which is misleading in itself because it is technically true that there is no upper limit to the compensation plan. And the people at the top truly can just earn more and more and more. But of course, as we know, only 0.01% of people in this company make it to that level. So only a fraction of people in the whole company have access to this uncapped earning potential that they all advertise. And although the compensation plan itself is uncapped, there's still limited resources available in the form of the human population. Mathematically, there's going to become a point where you have tapped into all of your available resources and there's not going to be anybody left to recruit. You have to be at least 18 years old to join Monat, as is the case for most MLMs. So what happens is the older that these companies get, the more they are at the mercy of recruiting 18-year-olds to keep their company afloat. So yes, there will become a point where the earning potential is capped. And finally, she says that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, which Monat is not legally allowed to say because it's not technically true. There's all kinds of stipulations and special circumstances and hoops you have to jump through in order to be eligible to return your products, and once you are eligible, you have to pay the return shipping. So no matter what, you're not getting 100% of your purchase price back. Posts like this are absolutely insane to me because it's just one piece of misinformation after the other. Because somebody who doesn't know anything about money comes along and they're like, wow, no risk, cheap startup cost, uncapped earning potential, 30-day money-back guarantee, sounds good, sign me up. But like I said, they're all half-truths, and if you just look a little bit deeper, you will realize that all this stuff right here is just a facade to make the opportunity look a little bit better than it actually is. Okay, this next video, I am proud to say that I have been blocked by this person, but I still get a whole bunch of her content because people send it to me all the time. She's a very familiar character, and I think that this video speaks for itself.
I gotta read you this. This was totally not intended. I gotta read you this, okay? Because it's Sunday, and you need to hear this. I know this was placed in my life because you need to hear this. Okay? Traveling through the fire is nothing to be ashamed of or hidden for no one to know. That is courage and humanity. The fire gives us true empathy for others who are struggling and forces us to find refuge in God alone. We are stronger and more firmly planted in His promises because they kept us going. We never choose fire, but God sometimes allows it, not to become a better version of ourselves, but to become a truer reflection of Him. You guys, every single thing you are going through in your life is for a reason. It has a purpose. I will never forget where I was when I realized that every single thing I had been through was for this business opportunity. To be able to relate, and not just relate, but like encourage, motivate, and truly believe. Believe. Okay, you guys, I want you to leave with this word stuck in your brain today. Believe. Truly believe in my people. Believe in the people who come into this business. Believe they are meant to be there. Believe in them before they believe in themselves. Okay? That is what got me here. Everything I went through, that led me to this place. It led me to this place to be able to coach people through things that I know they're going to be fine through. Okay? They're going to get through it. They're going to get through it.
To me, what it sounds like she's trying to say is that you just need to trust and believe, specifically in God, that you will be successful in this MLM. She said that trusting God is what brought her to this place that she's at in her business today. And you know what? Maybe she feels like that's true for her. Great, more power to her. But in my opinion, we start to walk this dangerous line when we start to mix religion with the MLM. This is called faith manipulation, and it's very prevalent, especially in Monat from what I've seen, considering they had a literal church service at their annual conference. I'll link that video here if you want more information on that. But it's this idea of manipulating a person's faith and manipulating their relationship with God to keep them in the MLM longer. I say this all the time, being in an MLM, joining an MLM, it doesn't make logical sense, right? Nobody in their right mind would join something where they lose a bunch of money, where they sacrifice all their relationships, where they spend all this time for pretty much no payoff, but they might remain involved if they truly believe that God wants them to, and if they believe that there's like this greater path and greater purpose for them. And that's where this faith and the belief and the trust comes in. You have a top leader in the company right now telling you that they are at the place they are at because they trusted God. And that's a perfect example of faith manipulation. Just trust God, stick it out, stay in Monat a little bit longer. Why? Because she needs the people on her team to remain in the company if she's going to keep making the kind of money she's making. She desperately relies on these people for her income, and she needs to do and say whatever is necessary, even if that means manipulating their relationship with God to keep them on her team.
And not just that, but here's another thing. And I want you guys to think about this. How vulnerable are you being? Are you being egotistic or are you being vulnerable? There's two things that you could be, and there's a line in the sand between them.
Okay, hold on. This just caught my attention. She's saying you could be egotistical or you could be vulnerable, and I'm assuming she's implying that she wants people on her team to be vulnerable and not full of themselves. But coming from the woman who has a poster of her own face in the background of this video, I'm gonna have to blur a good portion of this video because there's her face that's talking and there's her face on the wall behind her. But I'll put like a little screenshot right here, okay? This isn't like a family photo of her on the wall of her house. This is like a life-size banner poster. It has her face and her name on it. It honestly looks like it could have been on display at like a Monat convention or something, and she like saw it and took it home with her after the event. I'm sorry, it's just highly ironic that she's like, you need to not be egotistical, but also here's a life-size poster of me that I like to look at on my wall. I just couldn't help but point that out.
And if you are just constantly doing everything in your life and on your social media and that you think is going to get praise and you know, like all of these different things, you guys, there's a lot of times in my business that it was like, shame on you. And now I'm just getting carried away. I should have just went live. But, you know, now I'm getting into the thought process of like influencers. And, you know, there are two different types of influencers. And this is just an easy way to explain this to you guys. There are the influencers who put on the cute outfits and they want you to tell them how pretty they look. It's totally fine. That's great. Their outfits are super cute. They bring zero purpose. They don't want to mess with their following. They do not, they cannot, they will not lose a follower. That's like not even an option for them. And then there's the real influencers of the world who will put their ego aside to make a difference in someone else's life, even if it's just one person, okay? They're gonna share their truth. They're gonna be painting a picture for you guys right now, okay? This isn't the point that I'm getting to. The point that I'm getting to is this.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's get to the point, okay? Because we are 4 minutes into this video and I still have yet to understand why she even began filming herself in the first place.
If you need this opportunity in your life, if you are struggling financially, if you miss your husband because he's gone working too much, or you're gone working too much and you miss your kids, or if you feel like you are on a hamster wheel, there is another option for you. But which type of influencer are you going to choose to be? Because all of us are those two people, okay?
Ah, yes, there's the point she was getting to. You need this opportunity. Join my team, work from home, be with your kids, blah, 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 blah. But here's what's really fascinating to me is the talking in circles that MLM reps will put us through just to end up at the same destination every time. It seems like the longer that somebody is in an MLM, the more creative they have to become with their pitch. We've talked about God, we've talked about ego, we've talked about types of influencers, we've talked about believing in ourselves and believing in the people on our team. I mean, 4 minutes of blabbering on and on and on with no kind of direction, but somehow we still made it to the destination. Somehow she still roped it into an opportunity pitch. Like, it is a skill. It is a skill that they have to hone to be able to do that.
You guys, it took me 7 months to post Monat on my story, or I'm sorry, on my feed, because I was embarrassed. And I was like, no. The reason why I'm telling you guys that is because I've been there. I've been in that position where I thought, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like, I am not doing that. I could do fine without that. And I did. I did fine, okay? But I did great when I opened up the gates for God to bring in the people that he was supposed to in my life. And you know, it was actually really, I don't know, another one of those moments when I finally did this and I thought back to my business, building wood furniture. I never wanted to show, you know, my kids in the background of photos, and I wanted it all to be like professional, okay? But it wasn't until I said, you know what? The people who want something super professional without the kids in the background, they're not my people. And guess what ended up happening with that business? It blew up. It blew up. I went on, Bethany and Your Business segment. They flew me out to New York. Mom the Builder. Okay, you guys, that was my name for 5 years. Mom the Builder. And had I been stuck on what other people think and not show up as myself, like some of you are doing right now. Some of you are saying, I'm not doing that. My friends will make fun of me. My husband will make fun of me. My family will make fun of me. I'm not doing that. Well, guess what? You are not going to be blessed the way that God wants to bless you, because he ain't going to be like, oh, hey, all of you outside of that door that I have open for you, not walking through it, here's the blessings too. It's just not going to happen. You have to be brave and you have to trust. And that's what I did when I said, you know what, they're not my people. I'm going to circle back to the main part of this message. Do you trust God? Because if you trust God, if you really trust him, you would never think for 2 seconds about not doing something that's being put in front of you.
Okay, but does God want you to join a pyramid scheme? Does God want you to manipulate other people in order to make money? Personally, I'm not a religious person, but I can imagine that God doesn't want you to lead a life of greed and manipulation. That's not something he wants for you. And my impression is that those aren't very godlike values, right? This doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel like that's why they have to frame it as like a blessing and a life-changing opportunity, and that you're helping people when you recruit them. Because those are all fallacies that you can tell yourself to make you feel like you're doing the right thing and you're being a good person, and that you're doing these things that align with your faith and they align with your values, but in actuality, you're just involved in a money-making scheme and you're desperately trying to recruit people so that you're not the last one in line. And in my understanding, it's not very godlike or Christ-like to be stepping on other people to get what you want. Yet that's exactly what happens in an MLM.
And the blessings that are going to come and unfold from this. He already has all the people lined up for you. He already has everything there, okay? Everything is laid out. But if you don't, be obedient and walk through that door. And you guys, I'm telling you this, I am not trying to mislead anyone. I am truly the proof of what can come from this business, and I want all of you too. I want every single one of you to be able to have this sort of testimony, to be able to say, you know what? The day that I said, they are not my people then. Because ultimately that's what a lot of people struggle with getting into this. Maybe you've bashed it before. Maybe you've been a hater. Maybe you're worried about, you guys, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to do that. I did. If you ask anyone that knew me prior to this business, they would be like, oh, Krista's like as anti-MLM as it gets.
Nope. I call BS on that. This idea that you can be anti-MLM and then have a change of heart once you join the company, no, absolutely not. Because if you were truly anti-MLM and you deeply understood how the scheme works and the damage that it causes and the manipulation tactics involved, you could never join. You would never be okay with joining because you already know the truth behind how it all operates, and nobody in their right mind could see that as a moral and ethical thing to do. And to be fair, I don't think that people that are in MLMs are bad people, because most of the time they're not fully aware of like the magnitude of what they're involved in. They're blissfully unaware, so to speak. The majority of them really do think that they're just doing what's best, and they really do think that they can make money, and they really don't understand how they're hurting people in the process. And it's usually not until they've left the MLM that they're able to look back on it and acknowledge how messed up it really was. I tend to think of this in like a very linear, one-directional path for most people. It's like you start out here, okay? You're blissfully unaware. You just join because of the opportunity and all the things that you think it's going to bring you, and you genuinely don't see anything wrong wrong with it. Then you work within the company for however long, still blissfully unaware. You might make some money, but you most likely won't. And then at some point, you start to recognize the scheme for what it really is, and that's the point of no return. You've reached this point of being anti-MLM, and there's no going back now. That's why, at least in my opinion, it's impossible for someone to be truly anti-MLM and be able to go backwards. I'm sure on the rare occasion this does happen when somebody's moral compass is like totally jacked up and they know exactly what they're doing and they have no problem with it. But on a grand scale, what I see is people that are just really doing what they think is best. They really think that this is going to be a good thing for themselves and their family and their finances, and they don't fully understand what it is that they're involved in while they're in it. Which is why it really bothers me, but that people can say that they were anti-MLM, but now they're not because they've joined the business and they have actually experienced it. But with anti-MLM content like this on the rise, it's kind of becoming like a trendy thing for MLM reps to say that they used to be anti-MLM, but now they're not. It's an attempt to make themselves appear more relatable, but personally, I feel that that is a complete lie. Like, there is just no possible way that you could truly be anti-MLM and then go backwards. I do not buy it. With this next one, there isn't too much to debunk, but it was sent to me and it's very entertaining, and so I thought I would just kind of throw it in for fun. There's an MLM called Life Activated Brands. They're a supplement MLM and they seem to kind of specialize in like CBD products. And somebody sent me a screenshot of their income disclosure statement. I'll have it linked down below if you want to look at it yourself. But please look at this. It's a 2-paragraph document. It's typed in 11-point Arial font with 0 formatting. It literally looks like someone just opened up a Google Doc, started typing, and called it a day. It says, the Life Activated Brands compensation plan is an exciting opportunity that rewards you for selling products and services and sponsoring other participants who do the same. Although the opportunity is unlimited, individual results will vary depending on commitment levels and sales skills of each participant. Since Life Activated Brands has recently launched, it lacks enough statistical data to prepare reliable income disclosures. There will be certain participants who will earn less while others will earn much more. We're excited about the Life Activated Brands compensation plan, and we're confident it will provide you a solid foundation to help you achieve your financial goals. As with all endeavors, hard work and the time you dedicate impacts outcomes. If income projections were presented to you prior to your enrollment, such projections are not necessarily representative of the income, if any, that you can earn through your participation in the compensation plan. These income projections should not be considered as guarantees or projections of your actual earnings or profits. Success with Life Activated Brands results only from hard work. We love a good typo. Results only from hard work, dedication, and leadership. So basically what I just read says, we're not going to give you any information on what people actually make, but it's up to you and how hard you work. I mean, give me a break. Did a 12-year-old write this? Genuine question. This is the most pathetic excuse for an income disclosure that I have ever seen. And as far as them claiming that they haven't been around long enough to produce accurate income disclosures, I couldn't find any definitive information on when this MLM was founded, but I did find their CEO on LinkedIn, and it says he's been the CEO for 3 years. So what do I know? But I feel like that's plenty of time to be able to produce like an accurate income earnings document. But my guess is that those numbers are dismal and they do not want them on the internet, so their excuse is like, well, we don't have enough accurate data yet to produce an income disclosure, which is why they're not making that information available to the public. This is the last little thing I'm going to show you for this video. It's a little bonus clip here at the end. It's not from an MLM rep themselves, but it is definitely a fail. And this is somebody asking for protein powder recommendations, and it says these all taste horrible. And it's showing a GNC brand powder, it's showing an Orgain powder, and it's showing the Monat powder. And her little caption says, I love Juice Plus Complete, but it's not quite within the dietary guidelines that I need to follow. So my impression of this is that she might not be in an MLM herself, but that she's still supportive of MLM-based products like the Monat protein powder and like the Juice Plus powder. Just the fact that they appear not to necessarily be against MLMs, but that they're still giving this really honest review that the Monat protein tastes terrible. I love that so much because you would never see a Monat rep giving you an honest review review about anything, you would never see an MLM rep being brutally honest about not liking something that their company releases. This vegan protein came out a couple months ago, and all of the Monat Huns, they were obsessed, and it was the best thing they've ever tried. But would you expect them to say anything else? Of course not. They're never going to give you their true thoughts on anything, because if they did, they would risk not making a sale. They're only going to give biased and positive reviews. So I love this so much that someone is coming out and being like, I don't have anything against MLMs, but this was nasty. And with that, that's everything that I have for you for this MLM top fails video. But as always, before we go, I have a comment shout out. This one says, I'm not a doctor, but I play one in an MLM, from an essential oil hun. Because they really do think that they have the cure to everything, don't they? Thank you to everybody who sent me all these clips for this video. Please keep sending me stuff. I love it. The instructions for how to do that are in the description box of all of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next one real soon.